It's gonna be a very good podcast with you two hosts of ours.
Thank you so much.
On a molecular level, something can be manipulated to make an antidote of a virus so humongous and so widespread.
I may not have flashy name of Dr. Ayushi does. I may not have a very flash stethoscope, but I'm trying to heal the world in my own microscopic way.
I'm not opening a pharmacy store after completing my degree. It has so much of nakhra, man. You need to fit it so perfectly, otherwise biz.
Right.
Throw some noise.
Initially, I did blew up the whole lab almost. Yes.
This generation is going bad.
I might get in trouble for saying this, but I'll say this.
So unlike the other narcissistic batch, we didn't make a big fuss about it. We don't need to prove we are the best. I think that's already known.
That's right. Hello SNU stars, welcome back to another episode where we keep it real and unfiltered.
This is your host Sweta,
And Rishav.
coming to you live from SNU Amplified. And right now we're on the second episode of our second season and we're still keeping it real, raw and unfiltered. Today we'll be stepping into a world full of petri dishes, pipettes,
And pure patience. And yes, you have guessed it right. It's the Department of Microbiology and Biotechnology where students mix science with a bit of magic.
and a lot of caffeine.
Now, to decode the chaos and curiosity of lab life, we have got two of our very own friends from the Department of Biotechnology. First up, we have Rohtak, the always popping one. He's like the mixture of hydrogen and oxygen when comes in contact with heat. And next up, we have Ayushi, who always gets Ayushi. Please hesitate.
Hello Rishav, hello Sweta. Thank you
Hello.
for having us in this podcast.
Thank you very much, Rishav, for the jollyful introduction of mine. And yes, it's gonna be a very good podcast with you two hosts of ours.
Thank you so much.
Well, hello and welcome to the podcast. So to begin with, what would you say made you choose microbiology or biotechnology in the first place? Was it curiosity, a teacher's influence, or maybe just fate after boards or even NEET?
Though I gave NEET, but as per to answer your question, it was whole lot out of the curiosity, you know. We are the lockdown batch and we have gone through that
Right.
COVID-19 phase, the COVID-19 pandemic. And in that, we got to know that what role does ICMR or NIV plays. For those who don't know, ICMR and NIV are our research faculties which take up biotechnologists and MBBS doctors to do medicine and drug related researches. So that fascinated me, that how on a molecular level something can be manipulated to make an antidote of a virus so humongous and so widespread. There came the kink in the curiosity of mine to take up biotechnology, and I ended up in Sister Nivedita
That was
University.
interesting.
What about you, Ayushi?
Honestly, for me, it also started all with curiosity. I always loved learning about cells, DNA, RNA, everything. But also it fate because NEET didn't happen. I'm glad this part found me.
Okay, so both of you, just to sum up, it is both the curiosity and fate, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Completely agree.
Okay. So, Ayushi and Rohtak, in India, do you think people do know about the field of microbiology and biotechnology nowadays? Or do you still get in relative functions that, और बेटा डॉक्टरी की पढ़ाई कैसी चल रही है?
Every single time, any time I enter any of my family function, the only role I play instead of helping others, explaining my course, is telling them that I may not have a flashy name of Dr. Ayushi does. I may not have a very flash stethoscope, but I'm trying to heal the world in my own microscopic way. Yeah, it's always fun doing that, maybe.
Oh yeah, we definitely get that. You know, we cannot make them understand our relatives. Like I'm not opening a pharmacy store after completing my degree. I'm not going to take a stethoscope on my neck and patient, what is your illness? I don't do that. We just do research. It's very hard to make them understand. You know.
Right.
I think all of us have experienced this. Even I have such an encounter where, one of my relative asked me what I was exactly studying. And I took my time, I explained him everything. Like I was studying this course, this happens. And the conclusion he reached to was, so beta, kya tum कीड़ों की doctor ban rahi ho? And since then I just stopped explaining what I'm studying. I'm like, yes, हाँ uncle, मैं doctor ही बन रही हूँ. That is the thing, I think.
Well,
So to move on, as we know that our labs are filled with instruments, so which one would you say is your best friend and which one feels like your worst enemy?
Though this friend of mine has newly arrived in our labs, but it will be the multi-channel pipette, you know. a long process of serial dilution which can take like minutes and maybe hours sometimes if you mess it up.
Right.
You take this multi-channel pipette and it's done. In just one step, it's done. No, if you worksheet a lab god and that lab god has given you that full of your worksheet, it's like that to me.
All right.
And also, my worst enemy, as you asked, that will be that autoclave, the big pressure cooker of our houses.
I think all of us would relate to that.
The pressure cooker on the industrial level, of course. It has so much of nakhra, man. You need to fit it so perfectly, otherwise, biz. It goes so much noise and.
What about you, Ayushi?
I think mine would be not the multi-channel pipette. I'm not as fancy as a normal pipette, but it is a very tough relationship with her. She has been lost many times. I have to get her back and then use and throw her away, just like our generation relationships these days. But also, my worst enemy would not be autoclave, but would be the spectrophotometer. It doesn't work on time. It takes a long time for calibration. You're not coaxing, lot of calm, being like, we'll click your picture, madam. It's the Kareena Kapoor, okay? And it stops working at 6 and be like, nahi, ghar jana hai mujhe.
That was really interesting. Well, if you ask me, for me, Rohtak, it would be the opposite. For you, autoclave was your opponent.
Exactly.
But for me, it's I would consider it as my best friend. You can say yes. Initially, I did blew up the whole lab almost. Yes.
Oh my God.
Because the pressure of autoclave while I was maintaining, it went quite above 20 psi.
So Rishav, we can conclude that in the first year when you came to that lab and you saw that big pressure cooker, it was an enemy to you. And now you are in a relationship with it.
Yeah, you
More
can
like
say
a
that.
situationship, I
More
would
like
say.
a situationship, of course.
This generation is going bad.
Okay, moving on. Ayushi, Rohtak. Imagine if you had a patronus that represented your lab personality. So what would it be? Ayushi, you first.
For me, I'm being a big Harry Potter nerd. It will be a mixture between a panicking squirrel and a tired owl. I'm always panicking in lab, trying to get through everything, trying to zoom between protocols, somehow getting things done. Do not get contaminated, please. And also tired owl because I'm always tired at the end of the day.
For me, it will also be a mixture, just like Ayushi. Because, as you explained in the introduction, popping around like a hydrogen when comes
I was
back
right.
with it. You are actually right. I'll be a mixture of a monkey who just pops around here and there doing lab experiments, blah blah blah, everything, annoying everyone, and then also a wolf, because wolves are very cunning. And I might get in trouble for saying this, but I'll say this. There are very lengthy process experiments which we do. Yes. We need to add so much of things, but it can be done in 2 to 3 steps, which could be done with a clever mind, and I do that. I figure out that way, hiding from the lab assistants and the professors, of course. I hope no lab assistants will watch this and take this so seriously.
We hope.
But I do that. I take out that 5 to 10 steps long into just 2 steps, and it works. It actually works.
That's really genius.
For me, you're a monkey only. No box.
Ayushi, that's what I was saying. Please hesitate.
Sorry. But Sweta, what would be your patronus animal?
I think I would also relate to Ayushi. Mine would also be a tired owl. Even at the start of the day or at the end of the day, I'm as tired as I'm always.
Even with a 9 CGPA.
Especially with a 9. It's a lot of pressure.
You're tired of a 9?
All right, SNU stars, it's time for the most interesting segment of this episode, that is the Lab Confessions, where we will be getting the real chaotic stories straight from the benches. Now, I have a few list of questions that I will be asking you, and it's simple. You need to answer that.
Okay.
So, first up, what's one thing your attendance could testify against you for?
I see you every day, but why aren't you mark on my report?
All right. And in your case?
And it will just directly say how many professors' classes I have bunked or missed. Just to sleep, of course.
So the next question is, which meme sums up your entire life?
That would be the crying cat emoji with the hands on the head. Because every time a failed experiment or you fail a thing, I'm just, ye kya ho gaya?
Ayushi?
For me, it would be the kid who is looking towards the camera and there's a burning house behind.
Okay.
Because
yes.
for me, I feel like that's my life and I'm just like, it's okay.
I think we can relate to
Yes, yes.
If you had a theme song, okay, if your life had a theme song, which one would it be? Rohtak.
For me, though don't ask me to sing it, I'm very bad singer, but it will be Aoge Jab Tum Sajna.
Okay.
From Jab We Met. It just gives you the peace when you're writing lab practicals 5 in the morning, till 5 in the morning.
Okay. And for you, Ayushi?
For me, I think Zindagi Kaisi Hai Pehli. Nothing has gone through plan in my life right now.
I think we are still figuring that out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the next question is, if love were a scientific concept, how would you define it?
For me, it would be like a clean NB agar plate, petri dish with no contamination. I parafilmed it so that there's nothing happening on it.
Rohtak?
Oh, for me, I'll go back to those class 9-10's Newton's book where there says push and pull effect, that formula.
All right.
Okay, so that brings us to the end of this segment. Now moving on, one important question. What would you say is the difference between pure science and applied science? Do you think one gets more importance than the other, or are they basically just the same?
I would say they are the same. See, on a bigger scale, because pure science is something which we have learned till 12 and then we are applying it. So we can summarize it in a way that pure science is just the theory part. And when it is applied with all the practical knowledge and the theory knowledge in the fields which we can have an applied part in the life of ours, then it becomes a applied science. So I don't see a difference. I rather put that to be the F1 generation, the pure science, and this to be the F2 generation, the more advanced one.
Right.
Now, for me, I think pure science is exactly like how Rohtak said. It's like figuring out how it works, and applied science, let's do it in practical.
Yeah.
Let's put it on the board, let us blast everything.
After all, that's what our jobs are
Yes,
in the near
exactly.
future.
So basically, just to sum up, the pure sciences is basically the theory part, and the applied sciences is the application in real life.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right. So moving on to our next question. Ayushi, Rohtak, generally, nowadays in India, we are seeing that the aspiring biotech and microbiology students, they are trying to pursue their further studies abroad. Countries like Germany, Japan, Switzerland. So what do you think these countries are doing better than India?
Honestly, I think this country has much more field for the research work. They are getting better funds. They have more better infrastructures in labs. Their culture also somehow cultivate the curious scientific mind
Right.
in a way that India still lacks. I think it will get there, but right now it's not.
We're still catching.
Yes, we are still catching up on that.
Rohtak, what's your stance?
I agree to Ayushi in this field, we are still lacking behind in kind of resources when it comes to the digitalization of things, and also when we have that freedom over there, it's like they have the adequate facilities and everything for the development, and they have that freedom to do it. Over here, we don't have that much of a freedom, even if we are a scientist in the near future. We just still now, we are dependent. We are not indigenous
Right,
in cases
right.
of, in our level, a review paper. When we are writing up a review paper, we still have to go through the sites which are originated in the US. We don't have our indigenous. So we don't have that facility, the development, and of course the freedom to do things.
Ayushi, Rohtak, if you had a choice to continue your research work, which country or which dream institute would you choose?
For me, I think I'm very dear to India. India is very dear to me, as always. I would like to go out. It might be different institutes. There's India, in ISRO so we can go space biotechnology. There's DRDO. There's also one of my teachers recently told me about the Shah Institute of Nuclear Physics, which somehow matches physics and atomic research with biotechnology, which is very interesting to me. So I might have to look at more.
See, I'm more of a person who is interested, in genomic level for the cancer. So I would prefer, I won't prefer leaving India because that's my mother nation. Though I'll choose Japan. You know why Japan? Because we also have a merger with one of the universities over there, which is actually the top leaders in research, Yokohama. They have a great facility, being such a old and such a renowned facility. And the core part is they research on the exact field which I want, genomic DNA of a cancer.
So now that we're on this topic, let me ask you one more question. Like with now, we have seen that AI is a new trend nowadays. So with AI and automation now entering labs, what would you say would remain uniquely human about scientific research?
First of all, I'll just sum it up that even if you take up a think center, that think center is nothing without this think center. So it's all from this mind which we are making that, and it is working on a program after all. So it cannot take up a pipette and do pipetting, but it cannot take up the wrongful bacteria which has germinated on that and make something out of it. That needs innovation which comes from this ThinkPad.
I completely agree with Rohtak actually, because AI has helped humans a lot. It has helped me a lot by finding a lot of research references, but it is still does not has the intuition, the curiosity which a human mind has. You know, for example, recently one of our culture bacteria got contaminated, and my seniors were very consistent. Look into it. What is it? Even though everybody was through it. No, that's what AI does not have. Finding beauty in failure.
Exactly.
You know, AI can make the data, but it takes a human to turn data into discovery.
Exactly.
So basically, the main difference is the lack of intuition that we humans have, but the artificial intelligence too.
Exactly.
Okay, Ayushi and Rohtak, how do you both balance your scientific side and creative side?
I'm the same person. Even in the lab, I'm sometimes very aggressive. Even in field, I'm a kabaddi player on the side. Sometimes I go on the field and be like, "You destroyed a bacteria," even though they didn't know anything, and they're looking at me confused. What did I do? It's like, no, nothing you. I'm just taking out my aggression. Somehow that's keep me balanced.
And Rohtak?
Oh, why to just balance them? They're both similar. You know, I'm a cricket player and I'm very fascinated about cricket. So we can summarize it in a way that cricket is also a work of art, and cultivating something in a petri dish, that's also a work of art. So why to just balance them? They're but on the same plate after all.
Science and art is kind of correlated.
Yeah.
If we have time, I think we all have a creative
Yeah.
side. Even I have a creative side, I think you would know. I like to write.
Yes.
So right now I am planning on publishing my own, book. I draw in my free time. But as we are the microbiology and biotechnology students, we don't get that much free time.
You're drawing bacteria now.
Right now I'm just drawing bacteria here and there.
All the best, Sweta, for that.
Okay, and finally, if you could say or advise our viewers about your journey, what would you tell them?
For me, see, I'm not in the condition or the position to say someone something or guide someone, but I'll just sum it up in a way that just do it. If you have that king for that thing, just do it. Because in the long run, if it goes wrong, that wrongful thing can also be brought up to be something good.
I think for me, it would be like be a good listener. Be calm, be patient. Do not be aggressive with pipette, it will break. And just go ahead. I'm just in second year, so I cannot say much about it right now.
So basically, patience is the key
Yes.
in our field, right? All right, SNU stars, here is your takeaway. Science isn't just about gathering knowledge and results. It's more about being resilient and having patience.
As we all know, the best research often happens quietly, away from the spotlight. So unlike the other narcissistic batch, we didn't make a big fuss about it. We just quietly rolled out a second episode. After all, we don't need to prove we are the best. I think that's already known.
That's right.
Well, thank you Ayushi and Rohtak for joining us today and bringing your stories from the lab, the spills, the small surprises and victories. Till next time, stay curious, stay caffeinated, and remember that every great discovery starts from one good question. Thank you. Please follow us on our social for more such contents. This has been SNU Amplified Season 2, Episode 2. Signing off, this is your host Sweta.
And Rishav?
Thank you.